We'll get started. Thank you so much for your patience, time, and the effort you've taken to come on this webinar. I know how it is on a working day, but let's see how I can make this worth your while. Right? So we'll get started. First, a few quick rules. Uh, this will go on for probably 25-30 minutes, the presentation, then a demo for 5 to 10 minutes, and then a Q&A. So my suggestion is, as I am talking, or as I'm presenting to you, you may put your questions in the Q&A panel, right? And I will answer them towards the end or maybe in the way also. And we'll also be running a couple of polls just to understand your scenario uh, and see how we can get some insights from your usage of the email notifications, right? So let's get started without another minute of delay. I'm just going to switch to the presentation. So today what we are covering is a new launch from our stable, all right? But before we come to the product part, we will just cover the foundational aspects of why such a thing is required. As you can see on the screen, we are talking about what happens when a transaction alert or OTP or password reset command does not reach a customer on time. Right? This is just one of the impacts of a delayed or a notification which never went through to the customer. So how does one deal with that, right? So here I'm going to launch a poll. Right? We want to first understand for your organization how critical are email notifications to your business operations today. That and when I say email notifications, it means alerts, OTPs, transactions, reports, whatever you send to customers, partners, and signed up employees, right? And they are supposed to be reaching them immediately and in the inbox and not in the spam. How critical are these for your business? Is it mission critical? Like for a bank, it is mission critical. If the OTP doesn't reach, the transaction doesn't happen. Right? Important but not critical. It's okay if the report reaches today or tomorrow, right? It's mainly for marketing, only for promotion, or not sure. So there are four options. I'm just going to go back to the webinar platform and launch the poll. Just a second. This is all anonymous, don't worry. Just provide your inputs as to your organization, how important it is to, how important are email notifications. And people who have raised their hand can put their comments on the chat, because there's no way you can talk to me on this platform. But if you put your comments on the chat, we will be able to, I'll answer them. I'm waiting for the voting percentage to rise. And I'll also share the results right away. So we will be clear as to uh, what is the what actually is happening in the okay. There are three. There are three. It's equal. So we have equal percentage of votes for mission critical, important but not critical, and mainly marketing. Very few have said not sure. That is okay, which means what it means is everybody in the audience knows what they're using notifications for, and there's an equal percentage of usage in terms of mission critical, important, and mainly marketing, right? So this is good. I appreciate the input, and I think this kind of even goes in line with what we see when we speak to customers, right? Now let's go back to the presentation. So let's start with the impact. So what happens when an alert, okay, uh, is sent from your system but doesn't reach the customer, employee, partner, vendor on time, right? When such notifications fail or are delayed, you may get complaints or support calls, right? Very common, the first most common thing. So I'll give you an example. We had a payment gateway company as a customer, although they did not use ClrStream, they were using Vaultastic, right? But we understood that if an OTP or a transactional message does not reach the customer on time, they start getting lots and lots of support calls. And they were using Vaultastic to help them with that. That was another story. But this is a very important outcome of a delay or a inability for the mail to reach, right? It could lead to failed or abandoned transactions. This in turn leads to loss of trust, right? Oh, it doesn't work. XYZ system is not working, so let's not use it. I never know when it might just fail. I'm in the train and I want to send money, but I'm not receiving the OTP or whatever, right? So these are the challenges which businesses face in case their transactional alerts don't go on time, right? Then there are escalations. So operational teams are very busy. And of course, there's a compliance and audit risk. As you're aware that in terms of regulated entities, notifications are also coming under the compliance umbrella. Okay, so they are not just communication, they are a part of the transaction itself, right? So this is a very important, point that I'm making, that email notifications today are not just communication, they are a part of the transaction itself, right? So if you have any questions, I'm just going to pause a couple of seconds. In fact, I'm just going to relaunch this presentation. Give me a second, please. I wanted to actually go to another view. Share. I apologize for these few glitches which you are seeing. Yes. Okay, I'm back. Right. Now, so these are the impacts of a notification already not reaching on time. Okay. Now, what actually is happening is, across many organizations, email notifications are powering critical workflows. Right? Now, we have established that you've also given in your poll that these are very critical, they're very critical work. They power, this is mission critical and important both, right? So there is a need for them to reach on time, and they are running very important workflows, right? Such as transaction alerts, invoice sending, etc. Right? So order confirmations, these must reach on time. Otherwise, the customer starts wondering, did I do anything wrong? I just paid, but I don't have a verification of that, right? So whether it is billing notifications, authentications, transaction alerts, workflow automation alerts that your file has reached this stage and that stage, system notifications, compliance communications, these are all part of your notifications. And these are actually connecting your internal system to the consumers. Consumers could be internal customers, partners, vendors, employees, customers outside, right? So these are not, email notifications cannot be looked at, oh, this is a separate service or a separate system, deal with it separately. It's an integrated part. It's a connector. It's actually it's like the blood flow, the veins, right? So we have to be, cognizant that this is a very critical part of the whole system, and these are triggered by core business applications, your ERPs, your, CRM systems. So this is the actually the most important step where these systems align with your consumers. Now the thing is, this is all fine, and everybody's using, email notifications in some way. In fact, before I go to this slide, it's time to launch another poll. right? We discussed all this in the slide before, that why do we use transactional emails? But to hear it from you, right? From you as customers, you as users, as consumers, it will be interesting to note that why do you use, why do you send transactional emails? Are they customer transaction alerts? Are they billing and regulatory communications, system notifications and internal, alerts, or are they promotional? It's not the same as the first question. This is actually asking, what do you use the system for, right? You can choose multiple options or just choose all of the above in case it is that. Let's have some more votes, please, so that we can get a good sense of, the audience, where they are using the system, where they need to use email notifications. We'll wait a few more seconds. I can see some polling increasing. Guys who haven't voted, please, let's make this interactive, because it's not just that I have to speak. At least this way you can speak to me. Two ways you can speak to me is take the polls and put it on chat. I promise you I'll answer all the questions. Some more people are left to vote. I can see here. Okay. I'll just share the results with you. So what we have here is customer transaction alerts and system notifications are voted highest. All of the above is in line with that only, as high as that. Second highest is billing and regulatory communication, and third one is marketing and promotional campaigns, right? So it is interesting to note that email communication, the automated email communication, not the corporate email which you use in your inbox. I'm not talking about that. The automated communication is centered around transactional alerts, billing and regulatory communication, system notifications, etc. And maybe in certain companies, all of the above, right? So this is interesting. So the slide content and your input is kind of aligned, right? So we'll go on to the slide, right? Let's look at the hidden complexities that make uh, email notifications hard to scale. The first and foremost thing I would look at it is, in many organizations, and this has come from solid conversations with customers, is it is distributed. Like the customer department might be using one system, the another department, the marketing department is using another system. So there are 3 or 4 systems typically in every organization. Some of them are even homegrown, so they will use their own SMTP server, right? So this fragmentation kind of makes it very difficult to scale. So CRM is one, billing is one. So each one, as it evolved organically, they use their own mail sending mechanism or system, right? So this is the first problem. Since it is distributed, controlling it at 4 or 5 or 6 points becomes a real challenge, right? So this is the common realities are that multiple applications are sending notifications, right? Then another team deploys their own SMTP configuration. Right? This creates a fragmentation. Teams often struggle to answer basic questions like, was the notification delivered? Which system sent it? What happened if the delivery failed? Right? So answering these questions becomes a big challenge. You're not sure whether the message has gone, and if it has gone, is there a trace? Is there an archive of it, right? Many regulated entities are supposed to keep an archive of every notification which was sent for a period of 7 years, right? This is common in banks, where the requirement is Even if you send just a regular OTP, that has to be archived, right? And not just one copy, the copy which went to the customer. So I'll give you an example. This was a very interesting case with a banking customer of ours. Okay, this was it's a Vaultastic case, but it links back to the notification problem, right? So this particular bank, they have a system to send email notifications when FDs mature or are due for renewal, percentage changes, whatever, or some, XYZ alerts on something happening in the fixed deposits or investments, right? So in one particular scenario, one consumer customer sued the bank saying that you did not inform me that my FD has matured and you auto renewed it, right? Whereas at the maturity point, I wanted to withdraw the money and invest it in mutual funds. So as a result, in the last so many months of not having this money available to me, I have lost so much amount of money, and that you have to compensate 3 or 4 times that. So the suing amount was 1 crore rupees. This is a real story. You might even find it in the newspapers. Obviously, I cannot name the bank, right? They are our customer though. But what was what was done by the bank was they found in the archive that the notification of FD maturity was sent on a particular date. That message was archived in the archive in Vaultastic. That is another product which we have. And they were able to pull that out, print it out, and show the court of law that look, this notification was sent. Either the user ignored it, went into spam, deleted it by mistake, or whatever. Okay. So that actually won them the case. So what I'm trying to tell you is these notifications are not a joke. Getting them to reach the customer on time can cost your business heavy in terms of money or in terms of reputation, right? So it's very important to make sure that the scalability in this is not impacted, and you should be able to answer all these questions comfortably. Now, as the volumes grow, as your business grows, as the volumes grow, some of the things which we are hearing our customers talk about is SMTP limits and throttling. So a lot of our customers use their core mailing system to send emails. In fact, many of our customers use our own mailing system to send emails. But obviously, those mailing systems are not meant for bulk notifications. They are meant for you to send 50 mails a day per user. And here you're sending 1 million mails, right? So we have customers who send, there's one customer, means just one customer might be sending 1.5 million emails a day. And today, as we are sitting, we're sending more than 60, 70 million mails a month for our customers, right? Now, a Google or a Microsoft or a Zimbra or even Wiki Sky Connect for that matter is not designed to take that kind of a load, right? It is meant for corporate mailing, user to distribution list. That's it. You use that, it's like using a hammer to drive in a screw. So the tool is not right, right? So you're going to be hitting throttles, and all systems throttle this. So you will hit limits and your mailing will stop. If mailing stops, the transaction does not reach. Transaction does not reach, we have seen what happens, right? So this is a problem. Sharing credential sharing risk is a second problem, which one very big financial service customer pointed it out to us, that when they were using Google to send these emails, first of all, it's a wrong use. But second thing is, if they were using also, they needed to share the Google password with the application which was sending these emails. That is a security violation as per the security norms. So this is another big problem. No visibility. Mails are gone, no idea. There's no trace. Okay. You'll have to go through some deep logs. Vendor dependency is when, if you want to send a particular promotional campaign, this typically happens for promotional campaign or for mail trace. You go to the vendor and say, hey, this is my campaign, this is my target list, please send it for me because I don't have a GUI or it's not easy for me to send. Or please trace this mail and give it back to me. So these are the 4 or 5 risks which show up as the volumes grow. I think it's time for another poll. Give me a second. Okay. Let's first understand. I'm starting in the next poll. What is your current outbound email setup? This is not naming products. This is naming the architecture or the deployment model. Are you using an international SMTP vendor? Are you using a local SMTP vendor? Are you using an in-house SMTP server? Or it's a hybrid, a mix of all, right? Uh, Voting percentage is low. I'm waiting. Okay, good. I'm getting some answers, but I need more answers to make the poll worthwhile. Please take the effort, team. What do you use? Oh, wonderful. I'm getting some good insights out here. This is exactly what I was looking for. Come on, just a few more votes. The people who haven't voted, just a few more. I'll wait another few seconds and then I'll share the results with you. Okay. Interestingly, global SMTP vendor has got the maximum votes. Second is in-house SMTP server. Okay, so there are in the audience. There are companies who are mostly using global SMTP vendor. Some are using in-house SMTP vendor, and very few are not sure, which is fine. Maybe your teams may know, or some other team may be looking into it. All right, this is interesting. Keep this in mind as we go ahead, because there is a very interesting angle to the globalization here, which I will talk about. Right, but this is good. Thank you so much. I'm closing this poll. There are two more polls which we'll talk about. In fact, we can talk about one more poll right away, but let me just go and cover one more slide before I do that. So, next slide. Please keep putting your questions. Right now, if you look at this, email notifications are also a compliance requirement. So, if you look at that bank example story which I told you, right, where they won the case because they had archived every notification. So if I send a notification to 10,000 customers, 10,000 emails go into the archive, not just the source, because it is important to prove in the court of law that a mail to this particular customer, Mr. Ravi, or whoever his name is, was delivered at this time. And here are the logs. Right? So this is an important thing because when we archive the content, we also store the headers. So there is unrefutable proof that the mail was delivered or not delivered. Simple, right? If it was not delivered, what did the bank do about it? Then the bank is liable. Then that person who's making the claim is correct, right? So it's a compliance requirement. And I feel personally, when I talk to businesses, I think that every business in a way is liable if the alerts are not reaching the customer on time, right? You could be a regulated or an unregulated entity, but regulated entities are more in problem, right? So mandatory it is actually given in the compliance requirements of most of the regulatory bodies, right? If there are customer consent and communication, so GDPR and DPDPA, now the DPDPA law is very much in force, right? If the customer is providing any kind of consent on email, that better be recorded and it should be there. And if you are sending a consent alert that you consented to giving us personal information on our application, and here is a confirmation of that, that has to also be recorded, right? So this is point number 2. And the third one is that the audit trail preservation, right? Which in a way is extension of what I'm saying, right? That non-rewritable preservation of content, the delivery timestamps, the logs, right? In fact, you need to keep logs for 7 to 10 years so that you can go back and demonstrate proof that yes, this was sent and this was delivered, right? This is a very important point that I'm making. And when I come to actually how we have designed the solution to cater to these problems which we discovered, then we can see more in detail, right? But right now, time for another poll. I'm just trying to make it interactive. If you guys are slightly ready for lunch, I would suggest grab a coffee because I am asking you one more poll right now. Right? Let's start with what is your biggest concern today? So whichever system you're using, it doesn't matter. Hybrid, on-prem, global, local. Maybe you did vote. Some of them didn't vote there. Some of you didn't vote rather. So from the audience, I want to ask, what is really bothering you? What is the thing which you would like to fix? So if you're given an option that let me improve this, which are the areas which need improvement? Is it deliverability, which means mails are not going into inbox? Uh, the compliance and audits are underserved, which means I cannot answer audit queries, right? Cost is too much. Scalability is not there, which means if I send too many mails, it becomes delayed, there is queue, all that. Where are the issues? Let's spend a little more time on this because this uncovering the pain from your end is very critical. Guys, wake up. I just need you to answer these questions. Yes, I'm seeing some answers, but not yet as many as I would like. The voting percentage is still low. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to get get answers to all of these. People who haven't voted, please vote. It's not, you don't have to be 100% accurate, but try to tell us what are your biggest concerns. We need another 10-15% of votes waiting. Okay, we'll move ahead, right? So deliverability high, compliance and audit high, scalability high. These are the three biggest concerns. Okay, again I'll repeat. Deliverability, which means mails are not reaching inbox. Either they're going to spam or they're not reaching the customer at all. Number one. Number two is during an audit, they are not able to uh, service the required information and scale. It's not scaling with my needs. Like I said, there are customers who are sending up to 1.5 million mails a day. That is 15 lakh emails a day. And you can imagine that all of them will not be spread in a 24-hour period. Likely that 7 to 10 lakh emails might go in peak periods. So your system has to be able to take that much volume of email input at an ingestion at a high rate of, let's assume, 7 to 10 lakh emails maybe in 1 to 2 hours. You can do the math and figure out how many per second, queue them and deliver them in a few seconds. So this whole process should not take more than 4 to 5 seconds, right? That is what we're talking about, scalability. And the lesser, less concerns are cost and control and reporting. This is good. I really appreciate you audience, taking the time to fill out this. Now, so far, what we have seen is, I'll just go back to the presentation. So far, what we have seen is, why do we need to send email notifications? You also gave your views on that, right? Why do we need to send email notifications? What happens if the notifications don't reach on time? Basically, what is the impact? Okay. What are the biggest concerns with that, right? Why do email notifications fail? See, it's a very simple, it appears to be a very simple system, right? But there's a lot of engineering which goes to make this thing happen flawlessly every time, every day, every second. Okay. It's, there are massive amount of engineering, which I will just cover in the next slide, right? So now what we are coming to is, right, how to fix this. So we developed a service called ClrStream. This has already been running for a lot of our customers, right? we are formally announcing and launching this the open market now. Right, ClrStream currently serves many large, mid to large size BFSI education sector customers, right, who are sending millions of messages from ClrStream, and the deliverability rates are very, very high. Okay, they're in the range of 99%, I would say, or 98 or 99%. Right, uptime is 99.9%. And we are doing currently, as we said, with only this many set of customers, we are already doing 50 million plus notifications every month. So ClrStream is a well used product. We are now opening it up to, and this is an announcement webinar. Now, the why does it help solve all the problems we spoke about? This is a very important part. So ClrStream, the first and foremost thing is it is unified and central. So there is no separate notification system for different departments. Everybody uses one. Control points are different. I'm going to show you a demo in which you will see. So billing team needs ClrStream. Yes, they can be given billing ID. Billing ID can send, but billing ID has controls. Okay. Then there is marketing people. Then there is the customer support people, and then there are like that many people, right? So the whole what we are doing is we are telling all the departments, okay, here is your sending handle. You use this and send your messages. And the control is central. The trace is central. The IT team controls it at one point. There is no like, oh, my mail didn't go, now where do I look? Login, see. I'll in fact show you right now, right? So it's a centralized and unified system which does both transactional notifications and the promotional campaigns. In today's demo, I'll only cover transactional notifications. We will not be able to do both, right? So we will focus on one. If you would like to see the full demo, you can just let us know. We will do a one-on-one with you, right? So centralized delivery control, everything in one login, single pane of glass, highly reliable. This works on the AWS cloud and the OCI cloud. So these are very reliable clouds with disaster recovery built in. So this is an important part. In case there is a major outage, and as you can see, wars are going on all over the world. So unfortunately, so we have to be ready for all scenarios. We have made sure we are. There is full delivery visibility, which means every notification which is going amongst the millions. So let's say you send 1 million notifications today. You can trace each one of those million and find out that, okay, show me the notifications sent to this email ID, how many were sent and which ones were they. The mail trace will show you that, right? The integrations are very simplified and it is fully ready for compliance, right? I'll show you that right now. It's a simple, powerful tool ready for compliance, right? So instead of each application managing delivery independently, we are telling the customers do it through one system. It gives a single point of control and the delivery infrastructure becomes central. So this is what we are proposing. It's a running system. It's not anything new. It's already working for so many of our customers, right? We are serving BFSI, government, education, and very, very large digital platforms, right? Who need to send massive amounts of email on a daily basis, right? 99.9% uptime, 50 million plus messages delivered every month as we sit here today. Okay. So this is a proven platform already running. Now, this comes to my last poll before I go to the demo, right? This poll is to get an idea about your approximate. Now, this is nothing to do, this is not a sales poll. This is to understand that we know we've seen customers from 20,000 messages a month to 1.5 to 2 lakh to 3 lakh, 3 million messages a month, right? So we want to know what is your volume. Again, like I said, this is just to get a sense that actually these notifications, how many are actually being sent in the market, right? So it's bit up less than 200K, is less than 500K, less than a million, less than 5 million, or more than 5 million. Whatever be your number, let us know. Okay, this will give us some idea of the customer scenarios. This is the last poll, so please do not be lazy. It's just one click. It could be approximate. Even if you don't know, you can just give us some idea, give an indicator. Good, good. Here I'm seeing some more votes than the last poll. This is the last poll of the webinar. Okay, just wait 10 more seconds. Any last minute voters? Okay, no issues. So considering the amount of people who have voted, we have two categories who are so the one set of customers or people in the audience are sending up to 200K messages a month. Okay, 200,000, and another set are sending up to 500,000. The people who didn't vote, I have no idea, but that's okay. But this gives a fair idea. It's a fairly, correct, or you can say a referenceable number for mid-sized customers, mid-sized operations, right? Let's go back to the presentation. So this one very important thing which I want to mention is some of the customers, where we did early deployments of ClrStream were NSDL and IRCTC. Now you can just imagine the scale at which these two operate, right? NSDL is a share, is that depository, right, of mutual shares and all, right, of the equity. So that the alerts which NSDL sends out, the reports which they send out monthly goes to lakhs of customers. And so is the case with IRCTC for train bookings and all, right, along with BFSI. So all these early customers of ours have actually shaped how ClrStream is designed, right? These guys have actually been our early adopters, given us that input. And so this is where we sit today. Okay. So one very interesting point for you is, which I already spoke about, is archiving. So if you look at the combination, reliable communication delivery, okay, plus compliance ready, which means the if we work together, then the communications can be preserved with full audit trails and metadata. So it can help you in legal situations, in audit situations, right? And we preserve these for 10 years. Imagine you sent an OTP notification today, or a password reset notification, or a notification of an FD maturing, if you're a bank or NBFC, that is preserved for 10 years in our platform, and you can go back and pull it out, okay, and then share that detail with the legal team or the compliance team. This will be tremendously useful. There is no need for you to do any Excel preservation, download reports and keep nothing, right? So we believe that the combination of these two products will make the communication very effective, because it is central and unified, and the preservation of the communication will make you very strong legally and compliance wise, right? This is what we are proposing to customers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the demo section. Just give me a second to make sure that I have logged in. Then so it'll be easy for me to show you the demo. Yes, login is there. Yep. So I'm just sharing a different screen. Uh, Friends, please do put your questions. If you have any questions, any suggestions, also keep adding them to the Q&A poll. I'm just switching the sharing screen to the application screen. Here you go. So every customer who signs up for ClrStream will get a application login like this, right? Where you can provision. The first step is provision your domains. So you could have multiple domains. In our case, like if you see here, we have one domain, but you could have multiple domains through which you send emails, all right? Subdomains or main domains through which you send it. We've seen this with customers. Most of them have at least 2 or 3. So you will add your domain here. Domain configuration internally is mainly the name of the domain and the security. So that for the login, do you need CAPTCHA or do you need 2FA? This is the first part about domains, right? For each domain, the domain choices here, okay, you can configure senders. This is a very critical thing which I want to explain carefully. So in my organization, my billing department is one sender. So if you see here, there's MITI billing notifier, right? I am one sender. I send sales campaigns. So I have one way to, means I am one of the senders, right? Then there are reports, right? Like that. Then there are server alerts. So we have several senders configured. Okay. So in your scenario, based on your workflows, you can have different senders who send to different lists possibly. So billing at mithi.com, or transactions at mithi.com, or do not reply at mithi.com. So like that, you can have any number of senders, right? Very important thing is each sender has a configuration. So you can configure these, right? And it's very detailed, right? What is the email ID? What does the sender do? Which domain does it belong to? How should the sender be sending, right? Okay. Then if bounce has to go where it has to go, should we enable BCC, right? So that every notification one copy is sent to some other ID. Archive to Vaultastic, yes or no, right? Similarly, what is the SMTP URL, SMTP port? What are the IP control ranges, like where the mails can come from and and if it doesn't come from this IP, the mails will not be accepted. So IP control, authentication control, lot of controls are there here, right? For each sender. This is very critical part of the configuration. So the important thing here is create your domains, create your senders, right? Then you give them the authentication credentials and tell them now you please start sending. So they will use that SMTP IP and password or IP addresses and configure their business systems, which could be ERP, CRM, or whatever, or applications, and the mails will start being sent, right? Then we have the usage dashboard, right, which will show you the a top view of how many mails were sent, which domain was sent. All that will be shown here. It's just loading. Please just wait a few seconds, right? And this is the important thing here is you can go back to various different months and see the trends, right? So this is showing you in a chart form that how many mails were sent, how many were deferred. So deferred was 0, and how many were bounced. So in all the mails which we have sent, and you can also see the count here in the balloon. Okay, the same thing will be available in a tabular form, so you can analyze it day by day. So this is the chart view, this is a tabular view, and you can trace back to the statistics uh, for any month, right? And for any domain. And this can be downloaded as a CSV also for analysis and keeping. But remember, you don't have to do that. We store the data for up to 10 years. Now, this is cool. I see statistics. Yes, today I sent 13,368 mails. Okay, and no bounces. Great. Okay. Now I want to see, and this is where the beauty is, the magic lies, where I want to actually a legal case comes up saying, boss, you didn't say this mail was never received, right? So you will get this in the mail trace. Okay. I have to probably do just show the stuff fields. Let me open the search. Let me take a subject. So I'm also learning how to use this, a new release, right? So here, if you give your like you give your the domain, and the subject, right? Okay, for some reason this is not coming up, but I'm still figuring this out. But you will see here the let me see if I can find out. Okay, sorry, but I'm not able to show you this. But here you will see a full mail trace where you can search for mail sent to any particular user or domain, right? Now let's look at audit trails. These tell you that your senders, what all did they do, right? This is for your compliance and for tracking the actual usage, right? Let's see. Okay, uh, let's find out in a time. So this will give you like this, that which user, the actor, what all did they do? They logged in, okay, they read something, they created, something. So we can get all the drill down from here, right? This is a very important to track from a compliance and audit perspective, what your senders are doing. Senders will now have access to this so they can do their own configurations, right? So what are they doing? How are they managing? What promotions were sent, etc. So everything will come here, right? This is the trails for managing senders, for managing domains, and you can go through these trails to track your compliances, right? As you can see here, what updates were done. Update was done at this time, okay. Manage senders was done, okay. That is what you can know. So at least you will get an idea that which this actor, whoever the actor you have created, in this case, this is the super admin. What all did he do, right? So as you can see, it's a very simple product, okay. You subscribe to it, you create your domains, create your senders, give them the credentials to send, and you can then trace everything from single window. This is the unification which we spoke about, which solves all the problems of fragmentation, multiple systems, scalability, and this is highly scalable. If today you're sending 1.5 million, and for some good reason tomorrow you want to send 3 million, you don't have to tell us also. You just send. The system will scale on its own. Automatically it will scale the usage. And our whole platform is a very simple billing model. It is based on the number of emails. You purchase them in blocks. So you say, my volume is 20K, 20,000 emails a month, or 1 million emails a month. So we have a package for that, take it. If it exceeds, you can upgrade to the next package. Simple. It's as simple as that. All features are available in that, including promotional emails, which I'm not going to show you a demo today because we will not have the time. But there is an interface where you can create your lists, create your messages in template form, and send the emails, right? The most important thing I want to highlight here is you need this because your corporate email solution or a local SMTP may not be scalable. It will have throttles, it will have limits. So you need a system which can scale with your usage, right? Hence, this ClrStream has been rolled out. It is now available to customers. If you would like a more detailed demo or a discussion, do let us know. You can put a comment in the chat that yes, you would like to talk about this or get a quotation. We are very, very happy. Or you would like to do a trial, we can do that as well, right? A limited period with a limited volume trial we can do, right? Okay, so that is bringing me to 1 p.m., right? You guys have been wonderful, but I still don't see questions. Are you telling me that I explained everything so well that there is no questions you have to ask of me? So yes, I'm just waiting to hear from you. If there are any questions which you would like me to answer, like I already answered you the billing question, assuming that you might ask that, right? Yeah, pricing. So pricing is, like I said, based on the volume. So if you say, if you can give us an idea that in a month I send about 50,000 emails notifications, we have ready packages for that and we can send you a quote for that. So it is based on number of emails, simple, not on features. Support OAuth. Can you explain this? I mean, when you say OAuth, where would you like the auth to happen? I'll have to get my tech team, but just for me to take the question to them, can you explain this to me? Put a more detailed note here. And when you say support OAuth, or give me an example. Should the senders who are sending authenticate with OAuth, or how? So if you just explain that to me, I'll try to answer that. Meanwhile, other people can ask questions. Counter question me also. It's all right. We can have a chat on this. I'll read your questions and answer. The OAuth required for integration with external systems like CRMs. Yes, I think this can be worked out, but my tech team will have to discuss this. So if you like, we can have a call separately on this just for 10 minutes with my team lead, who will the ClrStream lead, to understand this question. Right? Can we get pricing details for month/year based on email quantity? Yes, we can. So if you can in the chat window, if you can, or what I will do is I'm going to put my email ID here in the chat, so you can write an email to this email ID, okay, and we will get you your quotation which you need. It's SALES sales@methi.com. So just write an email to us with your requirement. Okay. Yes, we can do trials as well. Just again, send an email to sales@methi.com. Our team will ask you a couple of questions about your domain name, etc. And within a 10-minute call, they can get you started. So you just let us know. You can share your requirements on email with us. I'm giving this answer to both. One is for the pricing and another is for the trial. A very important point I want to make is when I said compliance, a big part of it is residency. See, a lot of people in the audience said that they are using global SMTP vendors. So very recently we came across a few customers, especially from the regulated entities, who said that they are not comfortable with global SMTP vendors because it may come up as a red flag in the compliance. So they want to take a service which is India based, right? So this is something we do. We are India based. We've taken care of that from a compliance point of view. So it would be interesting for you to note this, right? Yes, more questions. I can wait another minute or two. So yeah, guys, please send in your questions, or your one of you have asked this question about pricing. If you can send us the email quantity, we'll share a price with you. And as far as the OAuth, the person who has asked about OAuth and trials, send us an email on sales@methi.com and I'll get you started. It's a free trial, so don't worry about it. It's a very easy system to use. Okay, so we are at 1 p.m. I don't see any more questions coming in. So I'm going to stop the webinar. I think you guys have been wonderful. I really appreciate you, especially taking the effort to answer polls. That was a very important part of learning from you people, which we have, right? We will come back to you with more information on this product, right? If meanwhile, if there's anything you need, you can just write to us at sales@methi.com. Our team will be happily assist you in taking this forward, whether it's case studies or anything, right? So thank you very much, friends. Have a good day ahead. Uh, Appreciate the time you have spent here. Right. So I'm going to stop this and have a good day. Bye bye.